Guys, welcome again. We're just
Right, excellent.
re-recording this because we lost the first the first time that we did it. Happily, it was 2 minutes in and not 30 minutes in. So today we have Gihan here, we have Mo, and we have Arthur, CEO, Ethereum developer, and CTO of Precog Finance, respectively. So welcome again. Sorry about the interruption. And Gihan, would you like to give me another explanation of what Precog is and to our audience for the first time?
Yeah, excellent. Carlos, again, thanks for having us here today. Again, look, we're super excited to present what we've been working on, which is Precog Finance. So it's a futures ecosystem, and it's an automated basis trade or aggregator. What that means is we've got two products, which is Sentient, which is an automated yield aggregator. That we have a proprietary algorithm that trades on behalf of the liquidity pool. And we also have Cerebral, which is a fully decentralized derivatives exchange where people can come and buy and sell derivative products and future contracts. In a nutshell, that's what we have.
Cool. And yeah, just as the next point that we were going to go to is Mo mentioned behind the scenes that the most interesting thing about Precog was that it started from an R&D process, as opposed to how the blockchain protocols tend to start, or these kind of products tend to start. So, Mo, would you like to just highlight what the importance of this difference and how it is that Precog was conceptualized?
Basically, most of the DeFi projects starts with the classic way of building any product, of building any software. Unlike Precog, where it started with R&D, pure R&D, with one of the best talents in the world in machine learning, in financial engineering, and trading and DeFi. So they started doing this R&D of using machine learning, AI algorithms, to come up with a very sophisticated algorithm that use the volatility of crypto assets and get like the maximum profit out of it. And in the end, this team was persistent till they get the best results across all DeFi projects, across all yield aggregators. We proudly have like the highest yield ever till now, across any other DeFi project in the same space. And the thing about Precog, we don't have like direct competitors, and they always try. When we meet with investors, we meet with like marketing or sales teams, they always try to find competitors to classify Precog across the landscape of DeFi. But we are not a bot. We are not a regular yield aggregator, and we are not also like the classic Wall Street investment portfolio, like softwares or pools. We are different. Basically, we are an AI-backed trading algorithm that can be exposed to the DeFi space as a DeFi trading protocol that enable anyone in the world with a wallet to access one of the top sophisticated financial products that utilize AI to maximize the returns, the yield, in short period of time. And I think Artur can explain more about like how they started using the AI in the trading, in the volatility trading.
Please do, Artur.
Okay, thanks, Mohammed. So basically, what we do on the part of the machine learning is to actually every trading week, so 7 days, we do backtesting and try to spot some opportunities that we either miss or because it was at the time the algorithm choose not to trade, and it was like there were false positives for the algorithm, and to actually validate those as possible trading grounds. And this, as time goes by, will actually start improving the algorithm, and the algorithm will actually start getting more clever in the ways that itself will manage their own trades, and can actually identify better trading opportunities, but at the same time more. So the more trading opportunities there is, the best accuracy the algorithm will have, because you, as any either human or algorithm, you won't go to all the trading opportunities, right? You will go just for those that you identify as the best, right? And if you can identify, instead of 10, you can identify 20, and you take from those 20, you take the 5 best, it's much better than just choosing 5 from the 10 identified. And as this improves over the weeks, the accuracy of the algorithm will be much higher. So, for example, I'm just putting in some limits terms. If we have an accuracy of, for example, 85%, and you can improve that to 98% with this true machine learning, right? It makes sense. Although the improvement itself in the accuracy is not that big, but it can land much bigger trading opportunities. So it's, in terms of accuracy, it improves by 15% or 13%, but in terms of earnings, can actually be the double, because it spotted better trading opportunities, or in ways that at the time the algorithm couldn't understand that it was a tradable opportunity. So this is how you improve an algorithm that has a fixed strategy, right? But learns from the opportunities along its journey, at least until the next deployment. And with this, we can actually improve the earnings, right? Because that's the goal, but also create more stability and predictability on the algorithm, because the more the trading time goes, and the better is for the algorithm to be predictable. And then we can, again, to the end client, we can better predict what will be the yield that we can offer.
Okay, and I think, of course, you're touching a bunch of interesting points in there. One thing that stood out to me is the fact that, well, this is meant to be for everyone, right? Like both sophisticated and not so sophisticated investors, and that's basically the ethos of DeFi, that everyone can plug in their Web3 wallet and then deploy their assets onto the markets. You mentioned also, quite interestingly, that when you meet with people, you're not quite able to locate a competitor. So if this is a product that's kind of like widely available in the traditional markets, why don't you think more people aren't extrapolating this kind of algorithmic trading to DeFi? And I'm going to point out to Gihan here, because he's a person that hasn't spoken lately, but like, if you want to point back to anyone else, feel free to.
Yeah, no, it's actually a great question. And what we have done is that we've built, I guess, especially the liquidity pool protocol of Sentient. That model is, I guess, modeled off the success of what UN Finance had done. Except what's underneath the hood, we've built out something that's actually quite a lot more exciting, a lot more opportunity, and it's actually the precusp of what's going to grow into something that's going to be probably one of the biggest things in DeFi, which is decentralized derivatives. I guess, and it's a good point that you touched on the traditional finance side of that, is because, I guess along the way, when we've been trying to explain what we're trying to do to, a plethora of people from DeFi, from, crypto, as soon as we say the word derivatives, it just goes over people's heads. People in even traditional finance who say that, they're quite deep in traditional finance don't really understand what derivatives are. And in traditional finance, it's, I guess the market cap of derivatives is $1 quadrillion a year market cap. So that's to go to show you. I mean, that's so when you say those kind of numbers, people think you're making them up, and it's definitely not. So, and they're saying we're at the start of what decentralized derivatives are. And where this can grow is they're saying it's going to be a lot, even potentially bigger than traditional finance, because there's, I guess, an unlimited number of underlying assets that you can create future contracts on. So essentially what we have done is actually plucked what Wall Street's been doing for, the last 30, 40 years with these derivative products and these algorithms, and we're plugging that out and putting that into DeFi for everybody to be able to access and extract value from. And our algorithm does all the work for you. So, whether you're a sophisticated investor or you know DeFi, and even the concept of arbitrage for some they may know, but they're not actually know how to extract that out of derivative products. You don't have to. So we can give that back to people who know crypto, or even we built this for someone, 70-year-old mother who can still plug their wallet in and still reap the rewards for this as well.
Okay, yeah. So I'm wondering, in response to this, I would assume, okay, this is me not being an expert in game theory or in derivatives or in general on the kind of thing that Precog is trying to do, but like I would assume that in a world, and also another disclaimer, this maybe is a dumb question, but like in a world where people are able to deploy their assets in a perfect system that earns yield automatically from them, then basically has an incentive. Everyone has an incentive to do so, and by default, then no one manages to earn anything from that. Of course, this is a scenario in which Precog won everything and like humanity is submitted to Precog completely. But I don't know, how do you think about this issue? Or how do you think about how competition could start sparking in the DeFi space if there is really not right now? Did you catch it, Mo?
I catch it about. You mean another competitors will start doing what we do, like, yeah. But the thing here is,
Okay.
you need time, resources to come up with the best algorithm that is backed by AI and machine learning, and a lot of testing. So we spend time in this field doing R&D, a lot of time, a lot of resources, and a lot of optimization. So any competitor will need a lot of time to reach this point. That gonna come and try to copycat the project. They're gonna need a lot of time to reach the algorithm, the AI, the machine learning that we reached till now. And in the process, and that's the best thing about Precog, about Sentient, that we have a team for Sentient that works every day and optimizing the algorithms till we maximize the profit with time, more and more and more. We aim to reach 25%, for example, per month. We really hope to reach it anytime soon. So we're gonna be ahead of them when they reach the first point. When we initiate the project officially as a blockchain project. So we work on this. Like, as I told you, we have a team just special. It's just working for Sentient, dedicated for Sentient. So we're gonna be ahead of the market when the competitors start like the project from scratch. And this is like the secret recipe of Sentient that will not be open source. We will not share it. It's going to be closed, secure, even insured in the future. So, yeah, this is how like right now the competition is or what the people say as a competitors, like trading bots, which needs technical analysis skills. It needs some configuration, and a lot of time when we use bots, the end result is like it's better to for example hold Ethereum and wait the price to go up, and you're gonna make more profit in the same time window when you use bots. And I tried this. I tried a lot of bots platforms, even with the right now you're gonna have a lot of bots in the exchanges, but it needs configuration. The difference with Sentient that we remove the complexities of configuration, technical analysis. We remove all the need of technical skills, and we have we work on the less risk strategies, which we will not lose. We will not cause any losses on the deposits from the DeFi investors. And the other like projects that they sometimes point as competitors, that they use the deposits for basis trading, and they will give you stable coin with static APY per year, like 6% or 7%, which we make in 10 days.
Okay.
The difference here that Sentient will be like super transparent, where we will show the trading results for the in the blockchain, and we eventually gonna have a DAO to vote on the strategies in the future. This is something we are working on. We are still forming. Yeah. So we are different. Right now, we don't have competitors, and we didn't see any like regarding, for example, Wall Street products. They are all work on the stock and forex trading, but not in the crypto. It's different. The story here is different. The dynamics are different, and even the volatility and everything else is different than the meta trading word that they are using for like doing the same thing, arbitrage and basis trading and other stuff.
Okay, and this is a follow up, and which I'm going to direct to Arthur here. But as always, anyone feel free to pick it up if you want. I understand this that that's important in this world and in the current financial ecosystem that we're living, to have some things be open and some things be closed. Like the most romantic way to look at crypto is to think that everything should be for everyone and be for free. But we know that the world just sometimes doesn't operate like that. And I do see some value to having some things closed, whereas some people might just think that's a red flag overall. Would you like to clarify upon that point? Which bits of Precog are going to be completely open? Which are not going to be that transparent? And why are we drawing this distinction? Because I think it's important. And I mean, even the CEO of Uniswap has said it, right? Like, you have at some point to be able to retain your competitive advantages to be able to continue producing high quality work.
Yeah. So again, this is under internal discussions, but my main take here is that if is bleeding edge technology, it's not open by default. It's not that anything against the feeling of the community, right? But first, we are less prone to attacks in the beginning, and as any startup, the beginning is very crucial, very, very imminent. And second is something that for any type of investment, it makes sense for us to own the technology and not just publish. And as we progress further, the transparency will come that we are transparent with the strategies that we use. It's not like some secret sauce for the strategies, right? Our secret sauce is how we implement it, how we supervise the trading, the algorithmic platform, how we improve those, right? And this is our secret ingredient. But the strategies is, again, it's more than proven in traditional financial markets, right? We are just taking that concept and applying to crypto that still has a lot of inefficiencies in the centralized exchanges. So that's I think that's like the very brief summary of this technological discussion.
Yeah, I think that's 100% correct. Like, there are a lot of inefficiencies, both in the decentralized and non-decentralized crypto products. I know as well. Like, you guys wanted to talk about the tokenomics of Precog, and because there is like a very cool, innovative bit that I don't want to spoil for everyone, and that involves Bitcoin. So, who wants to take that one?
So we are the first DeFi protocol to use this, let's say, DeFi to DeFi integration. Let's say that. Basically, we are taking a small percentage of the profit. We buy hash rate tokens. Hash rate tokens are like shares from a Bitcoin mining company. And with every profit cycle, we buy more hash rate tokens, put it in a treasury for smart contract treasury for the staking program. And when you hold these hash rate tokens, you're going to get daily passive income in the form of Bitcoin, Satoshis. It depends on the number of hash rate tokens that you are holding. So we're going to get in daily basis BTC, and we're going to distribute this BTC to the people who stake Precog tokens with us. But imagine this, Carlos. With every profit cycle, we're going to buy more hash rate tokens. So imagine in the range of year 2 years, the staking program will continue to work, will continue to distribute Bitcoin in addition to Precog tokens. And this is something unique. No one did it before. Basically, the staking program will become a Bitcoin miner. And imagine it in this way. And with every profit that Sentient make, we buy more hash rate tokens. So in the future, we're going to have like a big Bitcoin miner, but in the form of smart contract treasury. And we will be able to distribute Bitcoin for the stakers for a long period of time, unlike other DeFi protocols with fixed supply of tokens.
I think that's a very cool idea. How did that come? Yeah, how did that come to exist? Because I don't think anyone has ever done anything even remotely like that.
So it was with the team, me, Artur, and the team. We discussed a way to add value to the people who stake with us, to add something unique, and the aim here, as any DeFi protocol with decentralization principles, we aim to bring the most value to the end user, to the customer. So we were about to, if you remember, Artur, we were about to create another token that will be like a reward token for the people who stake with us. But we changed that, and we think it's like Bitcoin is the core of crypto and blockchain. You know, it's Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense to distribute Bitcoin instead of another token. And this is like the most valuable, let's say, reward that any people, any customer who stake tokens will get in return.
I think there's I mean, That's what I was thinking. Like that was literally what was going through my head. It's like, well, that's cool that you're from the DeFi perspective, from like a product that has nothing to do directly with it. You're endorsing Bitcoin in a way, and you're helping more people learn Bitcoin, and you're helping Bitcoin mining continue to exist. And I think that's just a great alternative to have. And it'd be great to see more projects take initiatives like this to try and support Bitcoin directly, because yeah, that's why we're all here for. And if the whole thesis of DeFi and this ecosystem is going to continue to exist, well, it's going to rely very heavily on Bitcoin. Props to you for that idea. Arthur, is there anything that you'd like to add there?
Yeah, not that much. I think Mo just talked all the strong points about this. Just want to add that this goes like in counterseen what is being doing right now. Our main goal is to use our token for our business model, right? And the rewards token would be, at least on our perspective, would be something like extra. And then having two tokens would be, I don't know, too heavy and complicated for a new project. And this strategy that we came up with made more sense, because on one hand, it's something that everybody wants, right? Everybody, doesn't matter if it's on DeFi or not, everybody wants crypto and Bitcoin. And in this case, the reward itself is Bitcoin, so it makes sense. It's like it has direct value for the user. We don't need to create value for a secondary token, right? And it's something that nobody is doing. And for us, being that we are, we want people to feel that this investment is not only rewarded by the yield, but actually is something that is innovative and think outside of the box, and it's not yet another DeFi clone from other DeFi projects. This made sense. Is that the rewards will be something that already exists and already people treasure it and give value. So yeah, it made perfect sense. It fit like a glove for the rewards.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's a great idea all around. Like, even I mean, you could think of, yeah. Sorry, want to add something there, Gihan? Don't worry.
I was just going to say. So I mean, like, so just to jump off the back of this is like, the team is extremely innovative, and and it shows on both sides of the tech, which is the R&D side and the development side. And to go back into what you were talking about before as well, in terms of competitors and whatnot, we're obviously paving the pathway of the future of what this space is going to look like. To be innovators in this space, we have to have new ideas that are outside the box, and from the actual platform itself, and how the actual the end user gets some benefit and rewards from, then to actually internally in the algorithm, the guys are the mandate is how do we be innovative and develop more strategies built into the algorithm itself. So what we'll be releasing, is just the start of what Precog is going to be able to offer. I guess one of the main things is we'll be developing every week, day to day, new ideas to be able to integrate as this space grows. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, that's great. And I think whenever we're talking about staking, staking, like, funnily wasn't really that much of a concept like a couple of years ago, right? Like, it's just been a bit since people have gotten around their minds to, like, that you can decrease your selling pressure and also reward your users for helping you do so. And nowadays everyone stakes, right? Like, nowadays there's no project that doesn't try at least to offer single-sided staking or AMMs, whatever. I wonder if there are any other things that you're aiming to offer your users for staking the Peacock token. I don't know, Arthur?
Well, not at this time. Besides the staking mechanism, not at this time. We don't foresee any new mechanism for rewarding.
All right, cool. I'm going to then jump back to AI and blockchain, which is a topic that really interests me. I mean, it's we know like AI are very computational heavy development processes, and just to execute, sorry, their execution is very heavy. So it currently doesn't really make sense to do these processes on chain. But I just wanted to take a tour through your heads and see where you think blockchains and AI are going together, like over the next 5-10 years, and see if we can get people excited about this topic. Would you like to get started, Mo?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about this. If how we can go fully decentralized. So I start looking for a decentralized cloud, decentralized VMs, decentralized computation. Uh, the first, one of the main projects that started to try this to offer a decentralization of computing power is Internet Computer, I think, if you know the
Uh-huh.
project. Um, I tried to use it, but it's still at the beginning. We don't have yet like a fully uh, decentralized computing offering or like a decentralization of cloud. It's still at the beginning. We need more time. We need more time to reach this point where we can move all the computational algorithms and products from virtual machines, from containers and cloud, and make it available on chain. And we it needs a lot of work on the security, on the technology. I mean, we will reach it. Eventually, we will be there, but it need more time. It need also it need like demand. Right now, uh, we are still at the beginning of the DeFi revolution, and we're gonna go metaverse. We're gonna go in the future DeFi 2.0, DeFi 3.0, and more and more. And even the games, the gamify, it's still hybrid where you have contracts and NFTs, and you have this middleware that connect to the smart contracts and do, like, for example, the auto battles. It's still hybrid model where you have part centralized and part decentralized. So maybe in 5 years, we're gonna reach like the point when the cloud started, maybe in 2000. I don't remember. Is it 14? I think where it
More or less, yeah.
yeah, it's the cloud booming started. So I think in 5 years, the decentralization of computing will start, especially with the demand for metaverse because it needs a lot of computation and the gamify. Eventually, we will be there, but we are still at the beginning.
And I think that's a great point that you make. Like, before, most people, like, or at least most young people don't know it, but like the internet used to be basically a directory for files, right?
Yes.
And then people invented websites, and it sounds weird to say nowadays that people invented websites, but suddenly people, you could deploy things into a site and anyone could access it, and that was a great thing. But before, people actually had to find their own hosting options and everything. And like you said, clouds changed all this. Nowadays, there are like 3 companies that hold all of our data, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous. But if you think of how easy it is to deploy anything into the internet for anyone right now today, it didn't used to be the case. And I think that's definitely a middle step that's needed for blockchains, that once we have them, the ability and the power of the decentralized applications that we can use is just going to vastly increase and explode. I wanted to ask your opinion as well on this, Gihan. How do you think the future could look like once artificial intelligence is deployed to DeFi, and well, DeFi continues on its path to take over things, and in particular in the ways of like permissionlessness and accessibility for people?
Yeah, it's a great topic. I mean, and I think, the acceleration of the technology itself, the underlying technology itself, is exciting to see where it's going to go. And as with any new technology, it's always going to have its issues. And the beauty about it is that it self-develops, and it's like accelerating. The problems are getting solved quicker than ever before in history. So, the whole concept, I guess, of just blockchain on its own, the technology behind it, but now gravitating a financial system from traditional finance into DeFi, it's had 400 years of inefficiencies and hasn't really changed a lot to then come into DeFi, which is, evolving rapidly and solving a lot of the issues, which is, the permissionless, the transparency, mutable ledgers. It's just it makes so much more sense. And I think people are starting to open up to that. And now with the advent of AI and I guess machine learning and bridging that to then recreate, like, as I said before, like, a lot of these DeFi protocols are now really paving the footpath of what that tomorrow is looking like, which is super exciting for anyone in this space. But two, it's also inspirational, I guess, to anyone in this era. Is just literally like it's unlimitless. So it's exciting to see. I think the brains that are in this space, what's going to be innovative and what's going to be thought of is really anything can be done these days. So the technology is here. The quantum computing's here. Like the speed of any of these processes is increasing exponentially. Sorry, it's 3:00 in the morning here, so my brain's still waking up. But that's it. That's the exciting part. So what 10 years ago, even if you had the idea to do things, what can be actually achieved now is unbelievable. So yeah, very exciting.
In my mind, it's something like just unbelievable to fathom that people think they're late to DeFi or that they're late to crypto in general. When you see where we stand right now, I mean, the whole ecosystem is very fragile. I always like to to try and tie things to recent events, because like it's always fun to look back and see what we used to think about the things that were going on at the time. And right now, of course, we have this whole global conflict thing between Russia and Ukraine, and NATO jumping in, etc. We know what's going on, but like I really think it's making a case for the importance of holding your own keys, having a censorless financial ecosystem, and well, everything that cryptocurrency stands for, even if the prices are not rejecting it, which is also unfortunate that people tend to equate the usefulness of these things to the price of Bitcoin, wherever it is at the time. But yeah, back to you, Gihan. How do you feel about how this is all turning out for cryptocurrency?
Yeah, so it's just to sort of touch on what we're talking about. It also leads into this as well. Is that the wide adoptance of crypto itself, and it's astronomical how people are now coming to, I guess, value this digital, value this digital value. So, it's amazing that one, it's now getting into the wide mass adoption stage, and I guess my background has always been in traditional finance, and a lot of my friends, I call them, they work in banks, and I call them wanker bankers, because they pretty much, they work and they were always the naysayers, and everyone was like, crypto's bad, crypto's this, it's bullshit. It's at the end of the day, now they're all sort of peeking over the fence, which is really exciting, So and I guess the technology itself, the underlying technology itself, it's sort of a lot more, becoming more secure, and that in itself is giving people reassurance. And the use of cryptocurrency in the community is what it's all about, right? So, how does the community value that, and how does it deploy it, and then how does it control the security of that? So, that in itself, as Mo was saying before, it's not controlled by any one central entity. It's now the community that defines what those parameters will look like. And the concept of the DAO is phenomenal in sort of shaping what this is going to look like in the near future. And even Precog Finance itself, we obviously want to gravitate towards a DAO. As Artur said at the beginning of any startup in this space, there needs to be a lot of hands on deck. But once we really over time develop our products within DeFi, and slowly relinquish a lot of that control back to the community, and have the protocol in a certain way that there's fail safe, and there's more efficiency, more transparency. Anything's really possible, and that's the power of what we're all building in the crypto space.
Yeah. Before, great answer, by the way. I really think I didn't intro anyone to this, but I do think DAOs as well are going to be very important, and increasingly so as we move into the future. I know before the call, Mo gave me a rundown of some interesting points that you wanted to touch on. I'm just wondering if I missed anything, and if there's anything that you want to plug in here, since we're nearing the end of the show.
Maybe we didn't talk about Cerebral, right?
Yes, but please, please introduce it to Cerebral.
I was going to mention that the uniqueness of Sentient, right? One of the platforms is the token, and why another token, right? And I think that this needs a little bit of an explanation regarding the reason that there's a token, because an investment platform normally just has the liquidity token, and that's it, or the government's token. Okay, but yeah, on traditional DeFi, made sense to have a governance. If you're DAO-like, sure, why not? But why just a token that will have value? The thing here is that we are extracting value based on the inefficiencies of centralized exchanges, right? And we will be doing the algorithmic trading on centralized exchanges. This is not something that it can be activated in a block minting on Ethereum, right? It is something that will occur along a certain period of time. The funds might be locked for a couple of months, and we need to output this value in the form of something, right? That is uniform towards the platform, that is uniform, and it's regardless of the exchange, regardless of the pair that we are trading, regardless of any internal mechanisms that we have. And thus the token, right? The token will be the value and the transmission of value that we will be doing, and it has two functions. First, the yield. It will be in the form of the token. It makes sense, and then you also have the mechanics for the insertion of value on the token. What we will do is that any profit that will come from the weekly roundup will be used to purchase from the market the token, and then they distribute the yield on that. And this is like the simplest. It's a little bit more complicated than this, but it is like the simplest explanation, right? The token is like the vehicle for the distribution of value, right? And this is the simplest way to actually aggregate value from multiple centralized exchanges, multiple pairs, different strategies, algorithmic strategies, and this is like the sum up of everything will be on the token. And I think it's like the best explanation, and it allows anyone from institutionals to the small individual that has like $1,000 to actually understand what type of value that token has behind it, right? Instead of just worrying about if I don't have that correct pair, or do I need to do this investment on a certain pool because it's on only that pool will connect to Binance or other centralized exchange or FTX, or no, he doesn't need to worry. And these types of worries that the users have will always be blockers for new platforms, right? And us simplifying not only the investment part from the user, but also the yield that the user will receive is actually the most powerful mechanism that we have. We basically will sell in investment simplicity, right? Because we are transparent, the users can understand what we are doing behind the scenes, and they don't need to actually do much to actually earn that value. Now going into a little bit on Cerebral. So what we aim with Cerebral is something that's different. It's a product on a different category, right? We are talking about derivatives. And we already have some derivatives platforms. We can talk a little bit about the UI UX. But what we actually aim is to actually create a democratization of derivatives, right? And where we allow to anyone to create derivatives for something, and people will bet on those derivatives. And this is something that because we have been seen on the DeFi space this democratization, right? With the centralized exchanges, you would need to list on the centralized exchanges, right? You would need to go through many hoops in order to be listed, in order to prove yourself to the exchange, just to have a token listed for the community, right? And with the whole DeFi space, what happened with Uniswap, for example, is that you just offer to the community directly, right? And the derivative space will eventually be similar, right? For you to create the derivatives, our goal is to allow you to just create the derivative and offer to your community. So I jokingly say that we are like the Uniswap of derivatives on Cerebral because of that, because we want to actually allow this. And this is not just out of beneficency, right? We know that it's by itself is a huge market if we look at traditional finance. And we know that when this booms in crypto, it will be much bigger than the normal crypto markets that we are seeing right now. And anyone creating their own derivatives, for example, many new projects came to be because there was Uniswap, and they could automatically put something, create a pool to offer to users. And we know that eventually there will be projects that will need these type of platforms to actually kickstart their communities. And as providing these quoting infrastructure for the DeFi space, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Gihan, would you like to add anything to that? I mean, that was a great explanation of what Cerebral is. Just like, of course, that there are many points where we can take it there. So I wonder if there's anything in particular that you'd like to tell the community about this product.
Yeah, no, I think that was an extremely great explanation of what we're trying to achieve here. I mean, essentially, Precog is the whole ecosystem for these derivative products, I guess. So there's products that deal with the derivative products. So Cerebral is a natural progression for after the liquidity pool protocol for people to buy and sell these things. But how do we then take it from that next level, and how to bring it back to the community? And I think Artur touched on those topics really, really well. And then where we take that after, we're going to expand on all these things, and I guess this is the exciting part. as the community, as this space grows, we've got an amazing team. That's one thing that we do have, from the R&D team, from the financial engineers to the algorithm specialists, to our dev team, to Artur, who's worked in DeFi and done some amazing things, to Mohammed. We're going to be looking and watching and listening very carefully to see where the next step after this is going to be. And we've already got, there's one thing that we don't have enough. We have plenty of ideas every day. Everyone's so passionate about what they do. We can't keep up, and it's about which one of these ideas is come back into the fold of where Precog defines what this space is going to do. It's a pretty exciting part of what Precog's going to be able to give back to the end user. At the end of the day, we want to be a one-stop shop for all of this. As this grows, and essentially, there's going to be enough space here for, I guess, plenty of healthy competition as well. Don't get me wrong about that. But we want to be the first in market for what we're doing, but also be the forward thinkers and really defining, being in the frontier space. So it's pretty cool what the team's about to develop and deploy.
Yeah, but please go ahead, Mo.
So I want to add on the roadmap, we're thinking about adding synthetic tokens, and it's a huge market. Synthetic tokens is a huge market, but it's complex. Usually, the current platforms allow developers to create synthetic tokens, and some protocols allows to expose or to trade on stocks or something like this. But with metaverse, with sand, with all this stuff is happening right now, we might see. Let's make it this way. We might see a tokenized real estate that was wrapped in synthetic token and being added to Cerebral to use it in derivatives products. We might see, for example, integration between derivatives and Sentient, where part of the liquidity will go to Sentient to make it more efficient, to efficient liquidity, where if you have inefficient liquidity and you want to maximize the efficiency of it, the yield of it, we might see this integration, this crazy ideas of offering Sentient as a SaaS in the form of synthetic token, where you create a token that is wrapping Sentient as an instance of Sentient in the way that cloud offer SaaS right now. So the space is open. We have a lot of innovative ideas, and we're gonna implement it one by one. But we need time, resources. We need to finish the first product, go to the second product. So Cerebral gonna be open to a lot of stuff. We're gonna be the let's say the Microsoft Excel of derivatives. Excel. It's the best product out there in the world. It's gonna be super easy, and we're gonna add a lot of innovative ideas, especially in the synthetic tokens space, which is not exploded till now. There are $70 billion locked in synthetic tokens, but it's not yet exposed to the masses. It's only exclusive for the people who understand synthetic tokens. So, we're gonna have a lot of ideas to integrate metaverse assets with tokenized assets, because the next wave in the blockchain is the tokenization of everything. in the future, you're going to see tokenized power planets, tokenized real estate assets, tokenized lands, tokenized everything. So we're gonna create a new model of synthetic tokens with derivatives, and we're gonna focus on this when we reach Cerebral in the roadmap.
Well, yeah, that's a great point, and I'm really looking forward to synthetic planets, and like you say, go on Microsoft Excel. We're going to start wrapping up this podcast, guys. Thanks a lot for coming here. It was really illustrative to talk to you. I think I wasn't excited about derivatives, and now I am. So, good job. Do you want Pete, to ask people to do anything? Is there anywhere in particular that you like your listeners that are interested in the project to go to and start following Precog? Now's the time to shield your stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, Carlos, thanks again for having us and the team on here to talk about our project. We're pretty excited, and I hope your listeners are just as excited. And if you are, the first place to go is to our website, would be Precog.finance. And then from there, you can go to our Telegram, which is where a lot of the activity and the updates are coming through, to let you know on some of the milestones that are coming up from our token launch to the product launch and beyond. And obviously, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, and all the above. So, yeah, stay tuned. Plenty coming up to keep you updated very soon.
All right, cool. So yeah, please everyone go and follow Precog, and thank you very much again, Artur, Mo, Ihan. That was a pleasure, and thanks to everyone listening at home. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.